Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Flesh and Blood stream. Tonight, we're playing some more Fi with ProQuest coming up this weekend. That I actually have a CC one I have to go and play at. I'm just going to keep continuing my grind with Fi this week. So it's a little bit later than I'm used to tonight. Getting a little bit of a late start, but I still want to stream tonight. I still want to get that time and hang out with you guys and spend time with everybody tonight. So. Plus, I need to practice, so I figure if I'm going to be playing games anyway, I might as well stream it, right? So, chat helps me out a lot, and you guys really help me walk through the lines and some stuff like that. So, really means a lot. Also, up to 691 subs on YouTube, almost about to cross that 700 mark. It's pretty exciting. Pretty excited about that. So that's pretty cool. I'm hoping to run into Bravo and Lexi tonight. Honestly, I think that's just what I'm gonna put in the thing. I'm just gonna put looking for Lexi, Bravo, Dromai, and that's just gonna be our thing tonight. That's all I'm really looking to play. Is to play against one of those three decks because excuse me. Those are going to be the most popular decks going into this weekend, so I want to make sure that I'm prepared to play against them and to see them. So make sure that I am staying on top of that as far as everything's concerned. Let's look at stream elements, dashboard. Let's see. Well, we got to find somebody to play against first and foremost before we can actually do anything tonight. Let's see if we got commands working on both platforms here. All right, we got Nightbot working on. Okay, there we go. We got them both working. Okay, cool. All right, cool. Well, hopefully we can find a game to play. I'd like to get some games in tonight, but I mean, we might just be joining games if that's the case. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we're gonna stick with this, and I guess we'll be as patient as we can here. I'm looking, the other night, I played against Lexi on stream the other night, and we actually won our game against Lexi. Pretty close one, but we ended up being able to come out ahead of that game. So, and I played Mask of Momentum into him just to see how it felt. We're definitely going to go second. And I am going to play Mask of Momentum again to see if it feels as good as it did the other night. I don't know, I know that a couple of people have told me to try Mask of Momentum, and I had in the past, and it just didn't feel as good as I felt playing Mask of the Pouncing Link, so I was willing to give it a try. And this is what I've been doing, and I'm just going to play Mask of Momentum and see how it goes. See if we can get a little bit lucky here. Being able to go second is extremely valuable, especially with a hand like this. This hand's really solid. Our opponent does not have Trench. They're looking at Tunic, and they also have Snaps instead of Perch Grapplers. So we're looking at just a sheer race. They're not going to be trying to block and value game us or anything. So, our turn, depending on what they do, our turn is probably going to look like Kodachi, Rising Resentment, Command and Conquer. If I had to guess, that's probably what we're going to be looking at here. Because they're probably just going to load an arrow and then pass, or maybe their hand is just absolutely insane and they can end on a pretty solid turn. So maybe they're going to throw some cards at us. And if they do, we're just going to block 5. We're going to block the Lava Vein Loyalty and the Rising Resentment. If they do throw a Heat Seeker at us, and if they throw a Heat Seeker at us here, if they actually attack with the Heat Seeker, I'm just going to block with Brand, Lava Vein, and Rising Resentment here. So we get to go Kodachi pitching Lava Vein Loyalty, Rising Resentment into Command and Conquer, which is a pretty solid play. I mean, I guess if I really wanted to get kind of spicy here, I could go Kodachi, Rising Resentment into Brand and see if they give us a card. Let's do that, actually. If they don't... So, actually, if they don't give us a card here on the Rising Resentment, which I can't imagine they will, what we'll do is we'll actually throw the Bram with Cinderclaw to see if they want to block. Because if they want to... Okay, so they're going to give us a card there, and now we're going to throw the Command and Conquer. So this is really good for us. This is a very good starting turn for us. If they don't block there, I'm going to throw Brand to threaten mass to get a card out of their hand and then throw Command and Conquer. But this this is a very good line of play for us. I'm just hoping that they don't have a blue in their hand and a 3 of a kind in their arsenal that's face down. That would be like worst case scenario for us right here. This hand is not bad. Thank God we kept the Bram with Cinderclaw. Our hand would be pretty bad. So let's think about our turn here. I mean, so if we don't block, we take 8, go to 32, and then we give them a 6-card hand, which is really bad. That's like a really good swing for them. But our turn is Kodachi, Brand, Kodachi, Blaze, Phoenix Flame, Lava Burst, Snap, Snatch, or it's Snatch into Snap, I bet. It's Snatch, Snap into Lava Burst. Or I can block Stab Wound, Lava Burst, and Furnace here. I can actually just block 8 right here. Keep them off of, they don't get any value off of, they don't get a Ponder token or the Heat Seeker triggers, so this is actually like a super value play. And we still get to go 3, 7, 11. So this is a really cool play. This is a sweet lineup for us here. And if the Snatch hits, then we also get like an Arsenal here, which is like insanely good. I mean, alternatively, I could throw the Snatch here to get value off the Draconic ability, but I don't think that's worth it here. The Phoenix Flame isn't worth the value of using our Snaps. Snaps is normally worth more than 1 point, so I'm not really interested in giving that up. And then they'll give us a card in Hornet Sting here, I imagine, because this is on hit draw 2 cards. This is like, if they say no blocks, like we're almost like, I don't know for sure, but like I'm probably going to snap here just because of the value that I get off of that. Of drawing 2 cards. It's a Sleep Dart, so we go to 39. And now they're out of equipment that they want to block with, so like that's really... Like they really only get 1 piece of equipment that they want to block with, so... God, don't be a 3 of a kind. Alright, well that's pretty bad for us. All things considered. I mean, this hand's not bad here because like we can pitch the Salta Wound to play Art of War and then banish Rising Resentment. So like we have like a pretty solid hand here. And I'm not a huge fan of playing Art of War off of a 4-card hand, but sometimes you have to. This is for 5. So if I block Salta Wound and Rising Resentment here, I'm blocking like their ability to like try and play a 3rd arrow here, unless they have a blue and they want to play a 3rd arrow off of the quiver, which is something they could do. The only way that we could have really stopped that is if they would have already activated their quiver and like broken it here. But so we're probably looking at just like attack for 3 on our turn, and then Arsenal Art of War here is like more than likely what we're gonna do. Try to set up a 5-card hand with the Art of War, seeing what our opponent loads in here. I assume they're going to pick +1 and whatever it is. Okay, so they have a Codex. No. They're going to activate Quiver. So I'm going to take 5 here. Like, I don't know why they would have named Go Again if they weren't going to activate Quiver. It's like it has to be Quiver here. Okay, so I take 5 and go to 34. And then if they attack me for 4, this is just 4. There's no relevant on hit here. Pants, drop them. I refuse to drop my pants, but if you're still on this whole I'm streaming without pants kick, then I can show you my pants after this game. I'm wearing sweatpants today. We went and played pickleball tonight, so I'm actually wearing sweatpants, which is something. It's funny because I never wear sweatpants. Like if you know me at all, like in real life, you know I never wear sweatpants. Like growing up, I was the kid who like wore a hoodie to school and like shorts in December. My mom used to get so mad at me about it. If you know me in real life, you know that's like how I did not wear I did not wear pants growing up. And as I've gotten older, I've started wearing some like jeans and stuff like that, but I guess he figured block, why not here? I'm just gonna arsenal this card and try to set up. This hand is like really not like a great Art of War hand, and this is also not a good Command and Conquer hand. This is like an interesting hand that we have here. So my opponent's trying to set up a 6-card hand here. All right, so I can't activate hero abilities here. Interesting. Show me now. Carly could be putting them on. I'm still the dude to wear shorts and a hoodie. Yeah, I started wearing pants as I got older. Like, it just gets too cold. All right, here, you happy? Wearing sweatpants. Gray North Carolina sweatpants. So I could just block 6 here and give my opponent another 5-card hand, and then my hand is Ronin Renegade, Blaze Headlong. Or my hand right here could be take 6, lose my access to my Phoenix Flame, and then pitch Command and Conquer to play Art of War, picking +1/+1 and go again, banishing my E-Strike. Or +1/+1 and banish, I mean. Not go again, good God. Go again. What world am I living in? Sweatpants, you whore. It's funny that you said that because Carly made a comment. She was like, "You never wear gray sweatpants," and I was like, "I know, it's weird, right?" Like we were talking about that before we went to go play pickleball. So it's funny that you say that. I feel like gray sweatpants are like the whore's clothing for men. We're gonna banish the E-Strike here. I mean, I can just go 4-5-5. I mean, I'm going to throw it all here regardless. So I guess we're just going to take our biggest plays here. We're going to go back-to-back Blaze Headlongs here because they're both for 5, which gives us the highest chance of hitting on mass because it's 2 cards from our opponent if they do want to actually block our mass kit. Also depends on how good their hand is, because if my opponent has another 3 of a kind, which they've only played 1 3 of a kind, yeah. So they've only played 1, so if they have another 3 of a kind here, they could just block 6 and then play a 3 of a kind and still have a functional turn, which is like one of the biggest downfalls about playing into Lexi, is that it's just so hard to combat them. So they can confirm I only wear sweatpants. Sweatpants or no pants. That's funny. Man, the sleep dart is like actually kind of good here. I mean, not really, but it is good. I mean, it's taking 3 points off the table, or I guess 2 points here. So if I go Kadachi, it's brand for 2. So if I go Kadachi here, that's for 2, and then this would be for 3. On hit, lose 2 life. Or this is for 2, and then this is for 4. On hit, nothing. So 4 and 2. So that's 6. Or it's 2 and 3 with the potential on hit. So it's all about whether they want to block with a card. They gave us masks, so I'm going to bet that they don't want to block here. Because this is 5, this is 7 versus 6. So if they take the stab wound, it's a 7-point turn. Or I could take a guaranteed 6 points here, or I could go for the extra point here, considering that I think my opponent doesn't want to block. And considering the situation I'm in, I'm going with the fact that I think they don't want to block. Now their hand may not have worked if they give up 2 cards. They may just have 1 card that they want to block with here. So they're okay giving up 1 card here to they're basically giving up blocking 3 to stop 5 here, which is really solid. I feel like their hand has to be pretty good. Okay. That's their second 3 of a kind, which is pretty solid. I mean, 2 3 of a kinds this early on in the game is pretty good. If that's a Rain Razors, that's bad for us. I mean, so this is 7 plus the 2 arrows they're going to get to throw at us. So depending on what they throw at us will tell us a lot. Hoping it's like a Falcon Wing and something else. Hamstring Shot is not the end of the world. I mean, this is fine. Hamstring Shot is not that big of a deal. We have the resource to play with this here because we have the Brand and the Ronin Renegade, which is fine. Now, the Remorseless is another story. This is for 6. Okay, so they said +1 here. So if we go to 13, let's do the math here. If we go to 13, it's action cards, right? Whenever they play an action card, we lose a life. So it's anytime we play an action card. So these are good. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I go to 13. I'm basically committing to going to 9. And if I draw a card off mask, maybe another card. So I'm taking 10 here, going to 9, or I can block Warmonger's Diplomacy, Furnace, and Shuko here. Stay at 19, and then I'm blocking 6, but I'm really blocking 10. But what am I giving up if I do that? I'm giving up 3 points to do that. So I'm blocking for 4 and taking away 3. So yeah, it's fine. So I'm actually netting a point by doing that. Okay, so I'm actually netting a point here by blocking this way. Which is important because you have to have every single point you can against Lexi if you're going to win. So the fact that they didn't have a yellow there is pretty good. And also we don't have to play around the last 3 of a kind, which is kind of nice. The only card we're playing around here the rest of the way is going to be... the only card we're playing around the rest of the way is Rain Razors. There's 1 Premeditate left, but I know a lot of lists are actually only on 1 Premeditate, so... We're going to go Kadachi, because Brand is only going to be for 1. I mean, that and the Hamstring Shot. The Hamstring Shot kind of hamstrings us into making that decision for us. It's a terrible joke. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not that sorry, but I'm sorry. All right. Come on, Rabble Babble. Be good to us. Hey, let's go. We're 1 for 1 on Reds tonight. This is a breakpoint that also hits mask. Considering they don't have a 3 of a kind because they pitched it, they are actually just required to give us 2 cards or card and tunic. And I would be pretty surprised if they gave us card and tunic because the tunic resource could fuel their turn in a very positive way. So I don't know. It's tough to say. Okay, so they decide to pass on the tunic resource there. Interesting. So Arsenal this and play around a codex they haven't seen yet. Yeah, I mean, we can't activate Phi here regardless, so we might as well just Arsenal the Ronin Renegade here and set up. I'm not, really worried about them playing a Command and Conquer effect or anything. They could. It is very possible that they could do that, but I don't think they would. Yeah, this hand is really solid here. This hand is like really good. Okay. So I'm going to take 5 and go to 14 here. I mean, if I need to, I can give up my mask. I mean, I guess if crap really hits the fan here, I can give up stab wound and mask here. This feels like a trap. This feels like a snap codex here. If it's snap codex, it's gonna be either a heat seeker or an infecting shot. So I can basically agree to go to 7 here, and then if they do throw it, I'm just looking at not throwing Kodachis, and I'm blocking stab, wound, and mask here. I mean, if they don't have Codex here, we're just going to 7, so we're down 6 points, and we have a really solid turn here. Okay, so this is... I mean, I guess they could have, like, Snap, Voltaire, but, like, there's no way. It has to be Codex. Arctic Incarceration? Okay, Arctic Incarceration normally, like, again, I talked about this yesterday. I talked about how I never play around Arctic Incarceration. But right here, it just doesn't matter. Arctic Incarceration is just actually fine for us. Like, because we have 2 blues and we can just play around it 100% of the time here. So... I'm gonna, like, pitch both of my blues here. And go Kodachi. So, I'm gonna go Kodachi. Now, you know what? I'm going to throw Brand here, because if they give me a card here on the Brand, then that's like a total win for me. Because then I can just set that, like, to punish them later. Mounting Anger. And they might give me... they honestly might just give me the New Horizon here. Plus, I'm 1 chain link away. So I can actually get back the value that I would get off Kodachi. Okay. I was like, I could get back the value off of Kodachi by actually just activating Phi here. But I'm not going to have to. So they give us New Horizon, which means they're just like not arsenaling the rest of the game pretty much. I mean, or if they arsenal, we know it's a go again attack. So Ronin Renegade is our 3rd Draconic Chainlink, because we had Kodachi into the Brand, into Mounting Anger, Kodachi, Ronin. So our opponent's going to go to 5 here, and then this is going to be for 1 on-hit mask, which is really good. Being able to add 6 Chainlinks here, like the fact that they only had Arctic Incarceration was so good. I incidentally made a very strong play by keeping both of my blues instead of blocking 5 on the because I could have blocked the original what was the 1 for 5. I could have blocked the infecting shot, and then they would have snapped and blown me out there, but like, or they might have arsenaled it, I don't know. But it was definitely like good value for me to not block. I am at 7, which is like kind of a problem. And this hand is, like, not great. Like, this hand... Like, I mean, I guess this hand's fine as long as I can get away with only blocking with my mask. I can actually do a lot of damage to my opponent here. I mean... I guess I can even block with the breaking point if I need to. Like, this has to be Codex, right? The stab wound, that stab wound is very interesting. What do you mean? Are you talking about like the fact that I'm playing stab wound? A blue that can get 4 value in offense sounds super interesting. Yeah, it's actually a really cool card. It actually has a lot of really good value. In this, it has like Stab Wound's very good in this deck in my opinion. If this is Arctic Incarceration, then that's pretty bad for me. I mean, I guess Arctic Incarceration is actually better than Codex there for me. So I can't play my Artivore, and if I want to play my Mounting Anger, I have to pitch all of my cards. I could play Ronin Renegade and just pitch Rising Resentment and Artivore here, and just come in for 3. And then if my opponent has 2 arrows and a Codex, I'm in a bad spot. 2 Go Again arrows in a bad spot is really good. More against Ice Heroes in Arctic. Yeah, so I was like, yeah, I mean, like the Stab Wound just like being a 0 cost attack action that can get value is really sweet. Like, and it's also a blue 3 block, so it just plays really well into like the whole game plan of like what I'm trying to go for here. Codex, like, I don't know that I can beat Codex here. If I, like, this is one of those situations where I might just be on the read of like, I hope they don't have it. This gets a card out of their hand, guaranteed. Guaranteed gets a card out of their hand. And then they can have 1 card in Codex, which means I can just get back the Snatch, I guess. This does not get any cards out of their hand. I guess I could also go... What, Kodachi costs 4, so I can't go Kodachi into this. This takes 1 card out of their hand, and then they go to 3. This doesn't take any cards out of their hand, and then I'm in a bad spot. I can't play the Artivore. I can't play multiple cards here. I get to play one or the other here because Kodachi costs 3 extra, so it costs 4. Man, if this was a blue, it changes our entire turn. We could get 2 cards of their hand if this was a blue. I think I just, like... I don't think I can play around Codex here in this spot. Like, they haven't seen one yet, which is, like the longer the game goes on, the higher probability they have of getting one, but I also don't think I can play around it. I was like, there's no way. I was like, there's no way they have a defense reaction here. I'm a Searing Emberblade simp, but if I go with Kodachi's, I'll try Stab Wound. It does everything I want. Block 3 blue. Yeah, so, I mean, like, it's a really sweet card. Like, if I was playing, Emberblade, I'd probably be on Blue Flying Kick. I was on Blue Flying Kick when I started out playing Emberblade, when the Phi deck came out originally, and it was really good. I really enjoyed Blue Flying Kick a lot. Oh, they have 2 codexes in their hand. Interesting. So no Go Again here, so they're just going to Arsenal. I mean... I could take 3, go to 4. If that's a Lightning Press, I guess I don't lose. There's no way they brought in Lightning Presses against me, right? No way. They don't block. There's no way. I play Blue Flying Kick is very good. Yeah, dude, I love Blue Flying Kick. It just costs 2 instead of 0, so I can't make it work in the Kodachi build. But if I was on Emberblade, I would totally be on Blue Flying Kick. I love that card. So if I block 3, I get to go double strike, double strike. Or I guess I actually get to just go... If I block Salta Wound here, take 3, go to 4, and then I'm essentially agreeing to go to 2, I get to go... Snatch, Snap, 7. Okay. So this is super interesting here. I mean, I'm going to start with this regardless. Yeah, this is super interesting. I'm really curious to know why they didn't pitch the Rain Razors and then play the Codex. Feels like they were just trying to get me right there. If my opponent gives me 2 cards here, I'm actually just dead now. I guess I can go 5 draw a card and hope I draw blue, which is weird. I've never hoped to draw blue a day in my life. Better lucky than good, I guess. Like, if I just pitch to the Pox token, oh, yeah, baby! Woo! Yes! As Bon Jovi said, we're living on a prayer! You're gonna die if you block that way. Oh, okay. Woo! Man. We're just running hot. I'm playing terribly and we're running hot. F-tier ninja, lol, dude, honestly, though. I honestly thought we were about to lose to Lexi right there, and we just got the rip of the century. Holy hell is right, Nick. Oh, man, get hype. That was insane. My opponent's so tilted. I would be so angry. Oh my god, that's amazing. We definitely just have to play the Art of War here, I think. Yeah, I don't think there's a reason to go to do anything else. We'll just banish the Snatch here, so. Hey, Pedicero, what's up, man? How are you, buddy? Entered at the right time? Yes, sir, you did. You just entered to see, like, the craziest, luckiest play ever. That was, like, a rip of the century right there. That was insane. So if they take the Kodachis, Bittering Thorns gets 2 cards. Actually, they take the Kodachi, Bittering Thorns gets 2 cards because it's for 5. Activate Phi. Well, I guess we won't get any value off of the Phi. We won't get any value off of the Phi if we... Or no, I guess it's for 1. So it and Kodachi are the same here. Because we don't have a Draconic Chain Link. If we had a Draconic Chain Link, it could be for 2. So I guess we're just better off to throw the Kodachi and then come in for 3. The other play we could make was to... I don't know what the other play we were making there would be. I don't know. I'm not sure there. How did you get paper Bittering Thorns? Trying to run them in Katsu, but don't want to buy 2 $70 boxes? Nick, I'm just going to be honest, man. I got friends in high places, dude. Got friends in high places. And by that, I mean Billy, Ben, and Nathan. So I needed 3, and the Codex is really good here. I needed 3, and Silas needed 3 for the list that we were playing. And so we got 2 from Billy, 2 from Ben, and then we got 2 more from Nathan. So we just ended up getting them. Find a Bravo friend, dude. Find a Bravo friend is the truth. What did they get? Endless Arrow, which is actually just better for me than Searing Shot. So the Frailty means we're discarding this, right? Let's just make sure here. If I get Blaze Headlong, Or I guess I should get Snatch. So if I get Snatch, I could always get Command and Conquer, actually. This is interesting. This is actually a really interesting play here. Because I guess I could get E-Strike too if I wanted to go that route. So Command and Conquer here lets me block with this, take 1, go to 1, give them their Endless Arrow back. I discard my Brand, and then I get to go Rabble, hopefully for 4, into Command and Conquer. If it's for 4, I get 2 cards, and the Command and Conquer takes their last 2 cards out of their hand. And if they draw a Rain Razors or a 2-block, I guess they're not dead if they draw 1 2-block. If they draw 2 2-blocks, they are dead there. So, but this, if I take the Snatch and I discard my blue, I block here, go to 1, and then again, I'm in a spot where this takes a card, this takes 2 cards, hopefully, and this takes 1 card. So it's all about what do I want to keep here, and I guess keeping a blue in my deck this late in the game is better than not. So, or is E-Strike the play here? Is E-Strike the play? Is E-Strike just better because E-Strike is for 7, so I get to go discard this, block here, play this for hopefully 4, and then take 3 cards out of their deck. So I'm guaranteed, even if this is for 2, to take all 3 cards out of their deck. So this is the correct play. Yeah, this is the correct play here. Okay. It took me a minute to work through the lines, but when you're playing these aggro matchups, you have all the time you need to figure this kind of stuff out. The odds of you actually running out of time are not very likely. I guess this is for 6, though. So I guess this only gets 2 cards out of their hand. The Command and Conquer was for 5, which takes 2 cards out of their hand, so... I mean, I'm taking all but 1 card out of their hand here. Why should I discard Red Brand there, Jeremy? I'm not saying you're wrong, I'm just curious. Like, unless I was going to get the Command and Conquer, what was the rationale for discarding the Red Brand? So they did Arsenal a card, I guess, so that they can throw something at me. Let this be for 4 so we can take 2 cards of their hand, please. Okay, it is for 4. Yep. How many Endless Arrows are over here? So they kept the 1 in their hand, which means they arsenaled something else. And then we're going to come in for 6. I'm curious to know what they arsenaled there. God, please have a Rain Razors in your hand. Just do it. Yeah! Shoo! Good game, opponent. That was a grindy game. But man, that was, man, I got really lucky in two points of that game there. 2 points of that game, I got very, 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 very lucky. Drawing the blue off of the E-Strike, I should have lost the game, but there is no justice in the world. I drew a blue and we got there anyway. Talk about better lucky than good. That was absolutely insane. Jose, Ravenous plus Kadachi command was maybe a play. So I had the Frailty. So Kadachis were going to attack for 0. So I would have kept the blue if I would have actually been able to if I would have been able to actually attack with my Kadachis. But Codex of Frailty gives me the Frailty token, so my Kadachis are off the table at that point. So you can use the swords. Yeah, Jeremy, I would have liked to have been able to use the... we could still... Like, yeah, so, like, us having the Frailty, like, kind of, like, nicked any, like, Kadachi plays that we had there. Or the blue definitely would have been better, absolutely. Could have drawn off E-Strike, since 4 still takes 2 cards, unless you are fishing for a 2-block. So... Yeah, Sean, you're right. That definitely should have been for 4, because I get to draw a card there, and I still get to take 2 cards of their hand, and I get to Arsenal in case the one card that they did put in their Arsenal was a Codex. I don't know if they had one left or not, but if they had one left, me arsenaling a card plays around the value they get off of me having to discard off Codex. So 4 wins me the game there, like the 6 did, or the 4 actually just like puts them in the same spot that they would have been either way. Yeah. So Sean's absolutely correct. I should have went for 4 draw card there to play around Codex. Yeah, absolutely. So, all right. Well, felt good to win a game against Lexi, even if I'm just... Oh, I forgot to put my little note in here that I want to play against. Lexi, Bravo, or Dromai. Those are really the matchups I'm looking to test into. I'll test into them all night tonight and then tomorrow, and then I won't play against any of them. That's how it goes. Oh, guys, thanks for hanging out tonight. Appreciate you guys being a part of the stream. That was that one felt like that was definitely a game that like definitely felt like I should not have won. But I'm not gonna complain at all there. So take the wins when they come our way. Raul, if you end up playing the deck, man, I hope that's how you pronounce your name. I hope it's Raul. I hope I'm saying that correctly. If you end up playing the deck at all, let me know how you do. I was like, I'm always curious to know how other people take the decks that I build and like actually play with them. Because I mean, like, I am a firm believer, after playing Magic for so many years, I'm a firm believer that just because something works for you, it may not work for me, and vice versa. I think that a lot of people have different play patterns. And I think that's one of the things that you see that like separates like a lot of good players from a lot of great players. Like I'm a firm believer you could hand like Brody Spurlock, Michael Hamilton, you know, like Michael Fang, like Mara Ferris. I'm a firm believer that you could hand any one of those people like almost any deck and they could play it very well. And that's not something for me. Most of the things that I have learned about the game and things like good plays you see me make or things that you make, like that you see me do over the course of a stream, are because I have learned them through pattern recognition. Not because I'm just naturally great at things like this. All right, so breaking points, ancestral empowerments, and sink belows. Cut the Artivores, and then we're going to stick with Mask of Momentum. We played Mask of Momentum into a Bravo one time, and it had some good returns for us last night. I'm a big fan of Mask of the Pouncing Lynx in this matchup, but at the suggestion of a couple of people, I've been trying Mask of Momentum to see how it feels into the Bravo matchup specifically. Okay, my man is on an Othos. Okay, so that's good. If I'm ever playing against Bravo and they open the shield and Titan's Fist, I automatically feel like I have an advantage. Like automatically, I feel like I have an advantage. Let's just block 6. Let's keep the power cards in our deck here. No reason to block, like not to block if we can here. You can fall behind pretty quickly against Bravo, so it's important to like make sure that you're staying ahead when you can. I'm not a huge fan of arsenaling against Bravo just because they play Command and Conquer Pummel and we don't have Crown of Providence to bail us out. But if I pitch Lava Burst into Kadachi and then go E-Strike for 7, I do have a pretty decent line. I could also just go pitch Lava Burst for Mounting Anger for 4 into E-Strike for 7/8, depending on if it hits, but I don't give myself an arsenal that way. So we're not looking at a 5-card hand. I mean, I guess setting up a Snatch and Arsenal is not a bad thing. Like, it's not terrible. I'm gonna go against my beliefs here, and I'm gonna Arsenal a card. Yeah, I'm gonna go against my beliefs here and Arsenal a card. We'll see how it plays out. If I immediately get punished, then I'm just gonna know that is, you know, that's the world's way of telling me that I should stick to what I feel like is actually correct about life and things like that. So, plus maybe I should actually bottom the Snatch and Arsenal the Mounting Anger, because Mounting Anger is a really solid card and like it gives me a lot of play. I like having a go again attack because it gives me more opportunities to not have to use my snaps. So let's actually put Snatch on the bottom and go buff power. Plus, like, this game might go second cycle, and if this game goes to second cycle, then I want to make sure that I have some good cards. And having Snatch and Lava Burst for second cycle is extremely strong. So at the end of this turn, we'll have put 2 cards in the bottom of our deck, and we're looking at Lava Burst and Snatch, or Snatch then Lava Burst, I suppose. So they kept their hand, which is a little worrisome to me, if I'm just being honest. I mean, Dominated Crippling Crush is pretty solid there. I can block 5. So I think I'm in a better spot just to take 11 and go to 29 and try to keep my hand here. And just try to keep 2 cards. And hopefully we keep a good mixture of cards. I haven't really taken the time to figure out which, like, what would be good for me and what would be bad for me, but... So I can pitch Salta Wound and go Kadachi, Ronin Renegade into Mounting Anger to try to force Mask here. I could also just go Kadachi, Ronin Renegade, but if I make that play, I'm letting my opponent only give 1 card to stop Mask here. And if their turn is just going to be Hammer, they'll probably give a card anyway here just to make sure that they're playing around it. They could also have a Sink Below. They could also just be in the boat of, hey, like, I have tempo, I had a pretty good turn early, let's stick with it. This is obviously a good hand for them because they're not blocking with any of their cards. So this is definitely Pummel. So let's block with our Stab Wounds here. I was like, when they play the Pummel, that's fine. We're going to discard our Rising Resentment. So I'm now down 8 points, which is not great. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to play Warmonger's Diplomacy here. And I'm going to force them to pick War so that they can attack me with something. But this way they can't dominate anything. So hopefully it gives me a turn to try and sneak back into the game a little bit here. God, that's crazy. Obnoxious. I mean, I could block 5. Oh, man, this has not been a good game for me. I mean, if I take 8, my turn is Brand, Double Strike, E-Strike. I don't know. Yeah, Sean, definitely incoming Pummel, dude. This could definitely be a Pummel. It could also just be that my opponent can't activate Tectonic Plating or Bravo. This could just be the best thing that their hand does. Let's block 5 here. Wow. Okay, so they had back-to-back pummels. So, again, our Bravo opponent is running insanely hot. I guess I'm going to discard my Double Strike because nothing can gain power, so it's not going to trigger Shuko. So, I'm going to play Brand, and then I'm going to Arsenal my Mounting Anger here. I don't really think I have another option. The fact that their pummel lined up with my Warmonger's Diplomacy is actually just really bad. Like, that's, like, so bad for me. If they have a third pummel, I swear. I mean, I could block 7. I mean, maybe that's where I'm at right now. Maybe I'm just blocking and trying to, like, wade through the damage here because, like, my opponent's hands have been, like, extremely strong to this point. I mean, I really want to try and get the value off of my mounting anger here. I mean, so I can block 7 with all of my equipment here. It's that or literally do nothing. So if I block 2, 4, 6, 7, yeah, so I literally have to give up every single piece of equipment. Sometimes Bravo just has it. Yeah, I mean, that's unfortunately the matchup. That's just been... So my last 3 Bravo games have been like, I've barely played the game because Bravo has ran this hot. And like, don't get me wrong, like Bravo's a very consistent deck, but Bravo's also like, Bravo also misses a lot, which is really funny. And like, this kind of stuff doesn't, like, I never get this like lucky when I play Bravo. At least it doesn't feel like it. Whereas this is also kind of like my penance for last game, it feels like. I mean, I don't think we really have a choice. Like, I think this is just the boat we're in. Like, I have to try and have a turn here, I think. Now, they also just don't have to block the rest of the game because, like, I mean, I guess I should have blocked with this. I wasn't thinking about Shuko being gone. I definitely should have blocked with that. That was like, this is just my turn's 1 less point now than it was, which is like just so bad. I also could have corrected my mistake by making the decision to... They probably have it, but I have to go for it here. Yeah, so they probably have it, but I have to go for it. I could have corrected my mistake by just playing the mounting anger there. But as a Bravo player, sometimes you just don't have it. I mean, yeah, like, absolutely. Like, and that is like, that's my experience more often than not. Like, let's talk about my Bravo opponent's turns here. My opponent has 2 Sink Belows. They've dominated a Crippling Crush, pummeled a Crush the Weak, pummeled a Choke Slam, played a Choke Slam, and then they've dominated a Starstruck, and now they're dominating another Crippling Crush. My opponent has not swung a hammer 1 time except for on turn 0. Like, this has been like a Bravo showcase this game for sure. Not the one thing I keep is Lava Burst. Oh, that's so bad. I also haven't seen a single Sink Below, and we are almost halfway through our deck. In fact, we are over halfway through our deck based off of the amount of cards we've pitched this game. So, or this next hand is going to put us over halfway through our deck. It's been an interesting game. And by interesting, I mean a slaughterfest. I'm getting rickrolled right now. Well, there's a Sink Below. Probably a little too late at this point, but you know. I mean, yeah, we're just gonna block 5 here. Go to 3. I'm gonna attack for 3, and I'm gonna Arsenal the Sink Below. Like, I highly doubt there's a way that it's possible, but if I do somehow manage to come back from this game, like, that would absolutely be wild. Considering my opponent still has 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 equipment block, and they're also up 16 life. You watch, this will be the Command and Conquer pummel turn. No, they're gonna pummel this. No reason for them to play. I mean, I guess they could play the pummel if they think they're going to kill me, but, like, doesn't really seem worth. So we get to take 2 and go to 1 here. I'm not going to bottom anything because, like, our hand is really solid. Like, we have a really good hand here. Like, it's just, unfortunately, a little too late. Just like JoJo said. It's just a little too late. And now I can't wait. You know all the right things to say. You know it's just a little too late. Hey, we're 3 for 3 on Ravenous Rabbles, though, being for 4. Which is better than we've done so the last couple of nights, so I'll take it. Throw Breaking Point for 5. And honestly, unless they planned on dominating their arsenal, it just doesn't really matter. It's like, yeah, they're just going to continue to play their good hand here. Like, dominate almost anything kills us from this point in the game. Yep. Activate Borvo. And then I take 6. Yeah, that was a clinic from our Bravo opponent. So, like, the crazy part is, like, we had an AVPT of 9.55. That is, like, insanely low for our list. And it's also crazy, like, how this is, like, this is the 3rd game of Bravo I've played in a row where this has happened to me. I don't really feel like I keep forgetting to put my little, like, thing in there, the little quib here. This is I've played 2 games of Bravo on Mask of Momentum, and I don't feel like I've had a game where I've really gotten to give it a fair chance. Like, where I've gotten to see, like, is Mask of Momentum good enough? There hasn't been a single game where, like, my Bravo opponent just hasn't been like, who's your daddy? Like, every time. Oh. But, I mean, it's one of those things, like, you know, like, I don't really feel like it's, I don't really feel like it's fair for me to, like, be upset about that kind of stuff. You know, because, I mean, like, my opponent, like, you know, is playing those cards to draw those cards, you know? So, so we're going to look at definitely keeping Mask of Momentum here. And this matchup, we're just going to put in the 3 poppers, and we're just going to play our cards that I like here. This is an interesting matchup, and, like, this used to be very 5-favored. And when I say it used to be, I mean, I'm talking, like, when these heroes, like, when Uprising first came out, which is crazy to think that was, like, over a year ago. I think that was, like, last September when all these heroes came out. Or maybe last September is when Nationals were. I can't remember, but almost to 700? Dude, we're almost there. I'm continuing to try and reach that climb. We are 9 subscribers on YouTube away from being at 700, which is really exciting. Our opponent must be making some sideboard choices here is all I can come up with. Guys, thanks for hanging out tonight. I know my stream got started a little bit later than it usually does, but I appreciate y'all hanging out. Being a part of it tonight means a lot. Okay, so they're on Silken form against me. Okay, they also played Crowd, which is sweet because it means that they're on Tome. They're on Empress Stromai, which I think is like the correct decision. Hey, sub 692, whoever that was, thank you. It is much appreciated. Appreciate you being a part of the channel. So let's block with E-Strike here. They attack with the Ashwing. We'll just take the Ashwing. Like, they're just banking. We don't have a popper, so, which is pretty fair, all things considered. We're going to try and have a turn and then Arsenal our Art of War here. We'll throw our Kodachi at the Ashwing. I like having Kodachis for Ashwings. Yo, sub 693. Thank you. Welcome to the channel. Appreciate you being a part of my journey through me playing cards mediocrely, if that's even a word. But either way, I appreciate it. It means a lot. Appreciate you guys being here. I enjoy getting to hang out with everybody. It's a lot of fun. I feel like I've met so many great people along the way playing Flesh and Blood. And I know everybody has to get sick of me saying that because I feel like I'm saying it every single stream. They were just going to give it to me there. Interesting. Just going to Arsenal my Art of War. Actually, you know what? I'm actually going to arsenal my Rising Resentment here, and I'm going to hang on to my Art of War. I feel like my Art of War is better, and they could very well throw a Command and Conquer at us. Ooh. Are we going to banish the Phoenix Flame? I mean, I guess we can. I can't, like, banish this, so I need to pitch it. Flicker Trick and Dust Up. Ew. Wow, are you kidding me? The one dragon that punishes me for keeping my Art of War in my hand. Ah. Breathe it in. Ah! Oh, it's so bad for us. It's so bad. So bad. Come on, what do you want, buddy boy? That's like one of my favorite things to say when I'm playing Fortnite. And I don't know if a lot of you guys like just play cards or if you guys are like also like Fortnite players, like you also like, ooh, they took my blue. Yeah. Neat. If you guys like play other games, like if anybody like that hangs out in my chat plays Fortnite or anything like that, but dude, like when I play Fortnite, it's like one of my favorite things to do is to be like, hey buddy, like when I'm like playing games and stuff, like and a snatch, huh? Well, I mean, I don't think I'm gonna block here. I think I'm just going to kill both the dragons and try to set up for my Art of War turn. So we're going to go Ashwing, pitching the Lava Burst. I haven't played a red card. Zach, stop being a dodo. So now I have to attack the Dominia with Rising Resentment. And then I'm not going to banish that to make it cost less. And then I'm cost less. I can't talk. We're going to activate Furnace. So I guess I actually don't have a way to activate Mask here because I had to play a red card. I mean, I guess I could have just pitched this for the other Kodachi. I don't know. I feel like I played that very weird and like very wrong. I don't know. Oh, back-to-back tomes, huh? I like having the popper. I mean, honestly, this turn is like kind of sweet. Like this turn is like kind of good because if they throw something at us we can pop, we're gonna pop it. We're gonna make that a reality. Like we're just gonna pop the dragon here. There's no reason not to in this spot, so I don't care about blocking this. I'm just gonna go to 27. We need to start playing offense. Like we need to have an offensive turn here. As Voli. All right. Well, them having Chromai and Asvali here, like that's a very unfortunate turn for us. Yep, I'm going to go to 26, and then I guess I'm going to take 3 and go to 23. I'm going to hope this isn't another snatch. That would be bad for us. Would be very, very bad. Could have just sent the Phoenix into Dominia to trigger Mask. Dude. So, yeah, that would have been a good play. That would have, yeah, Paneros, that was definitely just a better play. I mean, I guess the one upside of my play is that I did get to keep it in my deck. Like, I got to keep the Phoenix Flame in my deck. But yeah, Paneros, that was definitely, like, probably a better play to trigger and just draw a card there. I absolutely love the newest short. Oh, dude. Like, I literally just have a collection of all the funny things that you and Ben and Carly and Diablo and Ali say while we're playing Fortnite. And I just keep it for, like, random shorts. And I'm just compiling it all together, dude. And, like, you were up on the docket, Kyle. Am I about to, like, dude, I'm falling so freaking far behind right here. I have to take a turn to play offense, though. Like, I have to play offense here. They're just going to name Art of War because they know I have it. He knows I have an Art of War hanging out in my arsenal, so he's definitely going to name Art of War here. Him having the knowledge of Dominia and this is just, like, super solid here. I need more? You need more what? I can only make so many shorts. Let's attack them with a Kodachi. More shorts? I mean, listen, dude. Listen, I'm putting out shorts like 2 or 3 times a week most weeks, man. Like, when ProQuests aren't going on, I put out 3 shorts a week on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday night. But when ProQuests are going on, it's tough for me to be that to put them out 3 times a week. So we're gonna banish this for +1. I mean, I guess we're just going Phoenix Flame here. Phoenix Flame for 1. I'm going to throw Snatch for 5. And I'm honestly, I don't really know if I should snap here. I mean, this feels like a pretty good snap target, but they could also just have Flicker Trick in hand. And if they do, this is really bad for me. Like, snapping here, like, gives me the opportunity to play almost anything I draw. Like, unless it's an Art of War. I mean, I guess I do have, like, I don't know. Like, I have, like, Command and Conquers and stuff, so I guess I should just pass here. God, Lava Burst would have been so good right there. Lava Burst would have been so insanely good right there. And now this hand's absolutely terrible. This is why this matchup is so hard, because, like, our opponent has, like, just gotten out on the front foot, and I've not been able to keep up here. So we go to 14, we go to 11. Oh, they have 2 Asvalize. They play 2 Asvalize. Okay, so we go to 8, and then we're just gonna try and we're gonna have to try and make the Art of War turn just like absolutely insane. Which, like, doesn't seem that big of a stretch. I really need that, like, not to be a snatch or something. We're gonna buff and banish, and I'm gonna banish one of my head jabs here. We're gonna attack our opponent for 4. I really don't want to give up the value of my Art of War here, so I think I'm actually just gonna send the Blaze Headlong at them. So I guess let's just kill this and take our free mass kit here. I mean, so I can hear Carly in there watching the short I made tonight. It's hard. I'm sorry. It's hard not to sit and laugh when I'm thinking about that because it's really funny. So let's Kodachi them. Kodachi the Asvali. Activate Phi. Kill the Asvali because this will be for 2. So we get to clear the board, and then this is for 7. Which is like a pretty solid turn. I was like, and we've only seen 1 popper, so I was like, we're just kind of in a boat of like, hopefully we draw a popper here. I mean, if I give up E-Strike and Snatch as blockers this turn, I can still go E-Strike for 7. So let's block 3 here. Let's just make the efficient block. I'm afraid that I've fallen a little bit too far behind too early. So they're just going to snap here. Hopefully they don't have something too punishing. Considering they were preemptively snapping, they have something in mind for what they want to do here. I am at 6. Like, worst case scenario here, I'm required to block with my Enlightened Strike, and then I'm just too far behind. Our opponent must have drawn something pretty interesting here, because they're definitely sitting here thinking about what they should do. I was like, and the absolute floor of their turn is activate Furnace. Like, that is the absolute floor of their turn here. Might do draw a card and then snap if good. So I was honestly thinking draw a card here off E-Strike if I'm able to keep it. I mean, I guess I can just give up Shuko here, take 3. I don't want to go to 1 because then I just die to any Arcane. So I can go to 3 this way and then like let them name something. Like, I guess they could like name E-Strike in the dark. Like, it's not crazy to think that my 2-card hand is like just completely blown away by E-Strike. But playing Kodachi's, like, I think my best 2-card hand that I can have is probably blue and Brand with Cinderclaw. So if they name E-Strike, it's not completely crazy to me, but at the same time, like, it's pretty good name for them in the dark if they do name it. Command and Conquer. I mean, that's also like a pretty good name because now I just can't like throw anything. Like, I couldn't just like pitch my blue. Like, I couldn't go Kodachi into Command and Conquer. I think draw card is definitely the better play. I definitely agree with Paneros here. This card is good, but this card's like not good enough for me to consider snapping here, in my opinion, because I come in for 1 and 1, which means I do get to threaten Mask, but they give me Furnace or a card from their hand. I don't know. Furnace might enable their turn in some way, but even if like they just give up Furnace enabling their turn and block with a card here, I think I'm just going to let them go to 6, and then I'm just going to Arsenal this and like hope that there's like a... Man, really? Not a popper? We've only seen 1. Was kind of hoping to see another one right there. Like, we've seen quite a few cards and only seen 1 popper, so... And this isn't like Dash where like we banish over quite a few of them, so like we have to get lucky and draw them in the right spots. Zensor's such a cool card. I picked up 3 copies of this card when it came out. Because when it came out, it was like pretty cheap and nobody was really like talking about it or playing it, and so I picked it up pretty quickly when it came out. Jesus. So we're gonna block this. Throws the Yenderai. We're also gonna block 3 here. I'm gonna do this and go to 1 so that they can't just... Or I get... Yeah, no, I'm gonna go to 2. I'm gonna block with Furnace and go to 2 so that they can't just like randomly get me with something. Oh man, that's obnoxious. That's game. That's gonna do me in here. Like, now I can't even draw a card off Mask. I mean, what? I guess I could give both of my cards there and then kill the Chromai. kill the mirror guy, draw 2 poppers. Like, literally seems like my only out here. Because I get to go Kadachi into double strike on the mirror guy here. Like, actually just seems like my only play. And then I have to draw 2 poppers to play around the Chromai and the first dragon they attack with. And even then, I don't really have a good hand because I had to give up 2 of my cards defensively. So I have 2 cards as offense. I guess I technically have an opportunity to draw another popper here with this hand because I can play the Command and Conquer or the Art of War defensively, which is like super terrible. Like, and when I say super terrible, I mean like abysmal. They're gonna attack with multiple dragons here, so I have to just do this now. Let's keep this in our deck, and we're going to go buff and banish, and I'm going to banish the Soul Bead Strike here. Well, that's immediately not good for us. So I can't even pop the mirror guy. Or I can't even pop the Chromai here. Yeah, this is bad. So block 3. Stay at 2. When they come in with the Chromai, we pop it, and then I die to the mirror guy here. Because they still have an action point. You're such a boob, dude. I was dead. And I'm just gonna concede. Like, I don't know why that guy didn't attack there. Maybe he wanted to see his next hand. I'm not sure. So drawing a card off the mask would have definitely been better in the middle of the game there with the Phoenix Flame. I'm sure there was a turn where I just made a mistake and like put myself in a bad spot. And so like I didn't have what I wanted. But like that game also felt like my opponent had an extremely aggressive draw very quickly. And I just fell behind fast. Which I feel like it's very easy for Dromai to do. Dromai can really put you on the back foot in a hurry. Do 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 do. I ain't worried about it right now. All right. So let's see. We've played the trifecta tonight. We've played against everything we wanted to play against. We beat Alexi. We lost to a Bravo who ran really hot, and then we lost to a Dromai. I would imagine off of the back of me making a couple of mistakes throughout the course of the game, if I had to like pin it on something. Well, we're gonna try the same thing we just did into Lexi. I'm gonna try Mask of Momentum because I'm now 2-0 with Mask of Momentum into Lexi, which is interesting to me because like I don't know, it just doesn't like the boost that you get from playing. The boost that you get from playing Mask of Pounciless is so good. But maybe that's like an Emberblade style thing. Maybe Emberblade and Mask of the Pouncing Links pair better together. This is a hand. I wish this was a blue. I imagine our opponent's going to load 2 arrows and pass here. Again, no trench and no perch grapplers here, so our opponent has no intentions of blocking whatsoever. What did they name? Go again? Interesting. So let's block 5 here. I mean, I guess I can take cards out of my hand and then still arsenal 2 cards. What? I do not understand their decision at all right there. And when I say at all, I do mean at all. Like, it's always better to have a 6-card hand than to, like, take cards out of my hand, because literally all they did was let me filter, and I just ended up with a better hand than I had. We're not going to make anything cost less, but we are going to come in for 4 here with the Mask Threaten, which means they're going to have to give us a card in Hornet Sting, or they're going to have to commit to giving us Mask here. So they're going to give us a card in Hornet Sting. Okay. Okay. Pathing Helix on top. We go to 39. Now we have Kodachi into activate 5 Phoenix Flame for 1. And then I have Lava Burst for 6 on hit Mask, which gives me a pretty sweet Arsenal card. I mean, yeah, this is like a pretty good turn for us. I'm not going to snap here because like my options are limited, and plus whatever this card is just lets me play around Codex. Plus the card was pretty good. Like, that was a pretty solid card. I'm up 11 points with a 5-card hand. Okay, so this is go again. So I'm going to take 5 and go to 34. I don't really care about blocking Searing Shot. Like, it's just damage. Like, Searing Shot is just damage, so I don't have any interest in blocking it. What is this? Bolton Shot? Okay, so this is for 5. So I'm going to go to 29, and then I'm going to take 7 and go to 22. Yeah, like this is totally fine because like my hand is really solid. We have a really good hand here that also threatens Mask twice, which I really like. And also, if I do hit either one of my Mask triggers and it draws me into a blue, I don't have to arsenal it. I can just pitch the blue for the Pox token here. I don't really see a way to put 6 chain. I can't put 2 Mask effects on the board and also activate Phi here because I only have 1 Draconic card. So bummer, but you know, beggars can't be choosers. We're doing what we can here. Ooh, they're just gonna give us Mask and Bittering Thorns. Now we have potential to try and make that happen with our Mask hit. Depending on what it is, that is such a good turn ender because both of our Kodachis hit there. So let's go Rabble. Yeah, let's go. Let's go Rabble again. Then we're definitely going to go Ronin Renegade. So, and then the interesting decision here is that we can block 2 or we can potentially hit for 4 here. So we're going to attack with this card considering we're winning. If we were behind, we might consider not attacking with it, but this puts our opponent to 6 since they didn't block. And now we're up 18, or I guess we're only up 16 points. Oh my god, this hand is not good. This hand is not good at all. I mean, the only thing that they could have that really punishes me here is a 3rd arrow. I'm just going to see what they do. And then if they do reload an arrow, I'm just going to give up Flamescale Furnace and Mask. So take 4, go to 13. And then I can give every single piece of my equipment here, which is fine. Even though I'm overblocking, I'm technically giving up a point here, but I'm giving up 1 point to stop them from having a 5-card hand. I'm going to go buff and banish, and I'm actually going to get rid of my brand with Cinderclaw here because I can E-Strike and draw a card if I need to. So this is 4, and this is 6, draw card. So let's go Hang on a second. Am I supposed to put this on the bottom because this is a guaranteed 4 additional points? I think I am, even though like I have some cards that could actually get me out of that and make my hand a little bit better. I technically think this is the better play. Oh, God. My back just like popped in like 7 places right there. Ow, now my back hurts. In that moment, that kind of felt like when you go to the doctor and you're like, doctor, my neck hurts when I do this. Oh, man. Okay, New Horizons. This is for 2 again. They will not have to give up their last 2 cards if they don't want to. I could arsenal this to play around Codex here, but I think I'd rather just get value off of my Artivore and just come in for 2. My opponent goes to 2, and now I have to hope that they're like that their 3 of a kind hand just isn't insane. Oh wow, they just have an arrow? Really? So if I go to 7, I'm taking minimum of... Yeah. Let's just take 5 and go to 8. And then we have 7. We have 7 attack. We have 7 action cards we can play and be okay. Because of that, so there are two. I'm going to banish Double Strike. There's 2 reasons. 1, Double Strike attacks for 4, but it costs me 2 life because I have to play it twice. This is also for 4, so I'm not gaining any value off of having this. If I had Shuko, I would maybe consider keeping this, but I don't think so. With what I have in play. So, Kadachi, because it doesn't cost me a life. They give me Tunic. Brand with Cinderclaw puts me to 7. They give me 1 card and go to 1 here, which is really good. Kadachi. And then if I go E-Strike for 8, they're just dead. Oh, they have a Rain Razors in their hand, so they were just super dead there. Yeah, AVPT of 14.8 over 5 turns is pretty solid. We hit Mask 1 time, and we blocked. They gave us the Mask. We didn't even have to like have any tricks for it or anything. All right, well, interesting. Well, guys, sorry it was a little bit of a short stream. I told you guys it might be a short stream. We had plans tonight, so I wanted to get some games in and I wanted to practice a little bit. I played against Lexi twice, and I beat both the Lexis I played against, and then I lost to a Bravo and a Dromai, which is kind of interesting. Makes me think that maybe I should go back to the drawing board a little bit. Like, maybe... I don't know, like... I am 0-3, or I guess I'm 0-4 into the last 4 Bravos that I've played. And it's felt like the 3 out of the last 4 Bravo games I've played, I've kind of been high rolled a little bit, but like that's just cards in general. I feel like if I wanted to play something where I didn't have a potential to get high rolled, I'd just play chess. Like because chess is like just all skill. So I don't know. That's interesting. I'm also 2-0 into Lexi playing Mask of Momentum, which has kind of like pushed me in that direction of playing Mask of Momentum. Part of me wonders if maybe Ember Blade is the way to go into Ember Blade is the way to go into Dromai, because it helps deal with Asvalai for 1 card. I don't know. That's an interesting thought there. Like something to think about. I don't know. I'm pretty kind of like mulling that over and thinking like how that would go. So Emberblade helps me deal with. So Emberblades versus Kodachis, it's 2 resources for 2 damage / 3 damage. If I'm playing Emberblade, I could just play Emberblade and Mask of the Pouncing Lynx into Lexi and just try to like straight up race them. Or I could... I mean, against Bravo, I don't think our game plan changes. I think we still want Kodachis in a Bravo. The only thing that if I was really trying to make my Bravo matchup better, I would just have the reinforced lines in the deck. Like that would just be like that would be my change. I would just literally just be on reinforced lines. I don't know what I would cut for reinforced lines, but that's what I would be on. I'm trying to think. I don't know. Like I guess like I could cut the energy potion and play Emberblade and just have Emberblade as an option. Because like I feel like just having Emberblade as an option like gives me some things there. I don't know. That's really interesting there. Like I also can't like pitch a red and then like I can't play a red, pitch a red for Kodachi, activate Furnace off pitching another red to go to 2. Like I don't have the capability to do that. So I don't know. Like it's interesting. There's spots where I can play Kodachis and use them where I can't activate Emberblade. Anyway, sorry, I'm just kind of running in circles here talking about like what I may or may not do at this point because it's hard to say. It's tough to tell. But I don't know. Like I don't know. I feel good about the list. I like the way it's playing. Bravo feels like the only thing that's not super good into right now, which is funny because I really like the Bravo matchup as a 5-player. And then I like Dromai is Dromai. Like it's a super close game, and I don't really feel like anybody's like a big favor either way. It's just really about like I feel like who like draws better in certain situations. So who knows? Guys, thanks for hanging out tonight. I appreciate you guys being a part of the stream. I will be back tomorrow. Again, tomorrow night will be a little bit of a later night. We're having dinner with my mom tomorrow, so it'll be a little bit of a later night. I may not be on until like 9 o'clock again, like I was tonight. But I will be back for sure, even if it's for an hour and a half or something like that. So anyway, thanks for hanging out. Have a good night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take it easy, guys.